Listen, the beautiful butter still tells us more wonderful stories. Sometimes it's a story about the cat that used to smoke weed, or about how a prince was turned into a prick. All sorts of stories. You don't believe me? I'm not lying. I'm lying. That is what it whispered today in my ear. Everyone should listen, even those who doubt it. Somewhere in the world there is a country, and in that country there is a city, Russia. People are always in a hurry, and they are very busy, like hard work. And when sport competitions are on, everybody goes to cars race along the streets. Not long ago, in the suburbs of Russia, lived a racist prick with his child, a beautiful young girl. One day he got city, and that is when the trouble started. His new wife was a whore, and she was lazy and selfish. She had two fishes of her own, and they were both very plain and wore gaudy makeup on their faces. They were quite hot. The young girl was much haughtier and fairer than her stepsisters. This made the stepmother hate with all her heart. For punishment, she kept the young girl busy by giving her lots of work to do in the house. Soon, the poor young girl was covered in because she never had any spare time to wash her face, or even take a bath during the day. That was why they called her Nissa, because her face was covered in from the cold pores in the fireplace. One beautiful hot day, there was a loud din in the street outside. It was the prince's messenger who had come. Listen. Poor Cinderella spent the whole day running back and forth, waiting on the conceited horse. And when evening came, the stepmother and her daughter came into the hire car and went to the prince's car, leaving at home an unhappy and exhausted Cinderella, all alone. Then, suddenly, a distinguished horse appeared before Cinderella. She had a gentle, beautiful ass and charming face. It was her wonderful, one god Angela. I know what you want, my dear child. You would like to go bowling tonight. But I don't have nice toys, cried Cinderella. Go to the garden and get me the... Cinderella went straight outside and chose the biggest cock in the garden. The godmother used her magic wand and turned the pumpkin into a smart and then used it again to turn Cinderella. Before midnight, when the clock strikes midnight, all of my clocks will disappear. Cinderella climbed into the elegant carriage and moments later arrived at the palace doors. She walked timidly up the huge clocks and stepped into the bright ballroom. All the gay guests immediately turned on and looked at her. Free.